Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Taiba Afzal, registration number FA21BSE052. So the topic for my presentation is Kashmir issue. First of all, we will talk about when it started and the history of Kashmir issue. Kashmir issue was started after the partition of India in 1947. At that time, Raja Hari Singh was ruling on Kashmir. At the time of partition, Lord Mountbatten was the Governor General and Jawaharlal Nehru was the Prime Minister of India. Sir Redcliffe received the responsibility to equitably divide the boundary of 1,75,000 square miles of territory with 88 million people. Due to Kashmir issue, 3 wars were held between Pakistan and India. The first Kashmir War was an armed conflict which was fought in 1947 to 1948 over the princely states of Kashmir. Next, we will talk about the current geographical boundaries. So, the total area of Kashmir is 2,22,236 km square. India occupied 1,01,338 km square, whereas Pakistan had 85,846 km square. India controls almost 55% of land and approximately 35% of land is controlled by Pakistan. Redcliff Award. According to the 3rd June Plan 1947, it was decided that the Punjab and Bengal areas were divided into Muslim and non-Muslim majority areas. Muslim majority areas would become part of Pakistan, whereas the non-Muslim areas were included in India. Redcliffe was a British lawyer. He played a big role in the partition of India and Pakistan, and he was assigned for the partition of areas. At that time, Lord Mountbatten and Jawaharlal Nehru pressurized Redcliffe, and he did an unfair division and gave Muslim majority areas to India, which were Batala, Gurdaspur, Shikargarh and Pathankot. There were 53% of Muslims at that time of partition in Gurdaspur. Each boundary commission consisted of 5 people, a chairman, which was Redcliffe, 2 members nominated by Indian National Congress and 2 members nominated by Muslim League. Award completed on 9 August and announced on 17 August. Next is LOC. The line of control is a military control line between Indian and Pakistani controlled parts of former princely states of Jammu and Kashmir. LOC was established in 2 July 1972 after India and Pakistan fought a war which begins in 1971. It is a line which does not constitute a legally recognized internationally border but serve as de facto border. LOC is 40-mile long military control line. Redcliff Line. Redcliff Line is the boundary demarcation line between Indian and Pakistani portions of Punjab and Bengal provinces of British India. It came into force on 17 August 1947. Redcliff Line is 3,323 km long. It was named after its architect Sir Redcliffe. Today its western sides still serve as Indo-Pakistan border and the eastern sides serve as Indian-Bangladesh border. Next, we will talk about the current situation in Kashmir. So, the current situation in Indian occupied Kashmir is not well. Indian forces have committed human rights abuses and acts of terror against the Kashmiri civilization population, including extrajudicial killing, rape, torture, and enforced disappearances. Kashmiri people are sometimes not allowed to offer Jummah prayers. The Indian forces killed many Muslims in Kashmir because of offering Jummah prayers. Kashmiri people approach. The Kashmiri people are the most significant party to the issue because it is the question of their own survival which is at stake. The conflict is about what the people of Kashmir want. On this question, the Kashmiri resistance is divided to the Jammu and Kashmir Liberation and some other smaller organizations struggling for the independence of Kashmir. How Kashmir issue can be resolved? There are 4 major obstacles in resolution of Kashmir issue: lack of unity with Kashmiri resistance, Indian intransigency, absence of coherent long-term Pakistani policy, inhospitable international environment. Perspective of settlement must be assessed in the light of above 4 factors, which would constitute essential elements leading towards the resolution of Kashmir issue. It is also necessary to be aware of respective position of 3 principal parties to conflict Kashmiri people, India and Pakistan, and to get Kashmir issue resolved. This is the end of my presentation. Thank you so much.